And you're still touring and recording and playing with Sonny now?
Yeah, well, yeah, still after like a 25-year break. Let's see, so I did that gig, and that was that. And I went off to college, went to Berkeley for a year, went to Boston, and came back home after my first year and thought, you know, I got to stay in New York because my friends were already starting to appear on records.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, I got to try to get these opportunities too. So I'll stay here and I'll go to school. So I did that, and one thing led to another. I started playing with people, and I got a record deal at 19 years old, and this is back when that could still happen.
Yeah.
So I made my record, and I think Sonny saw an ad for it in the newspaper and called me up and asked me to join the band, and I did. You know, so I had left college a little bit before that and broken my parents' hearts, but I was like, you know, I have these opportunities to play and to travel, so. And then I got, you know, the record contract, and I was traveling. And so.
Was this also around the time where you were offered the gig with Art Blakey's Jazz Messenger?
That came before. That was like right after the first year of college. So I came home, and there was this club a couple of blocks down on the street that I lived on Columbus Avenue, and I could see it actually from my window. So I looked out and let me see what's happening down there. All right, Blakey, Jazz Messengers, cool, okay. And then a guy that I'd met in Boston, a great pianist who recently passed, James Williams, he was in the band. And I had just done a recital, someone's recital, and he was the pianist. So we saw each other, and he said, man, where's your axe? Like 2 blocks. Go get it, man. What are you doing? Like, okay, you know. This is how it was in New York at the time, especially for for a young kid that was really desirous of being involved and could, you know, play well enough to get around a little bit. You were really accepted by older musicians and more experienced musicians. They really wanted to help. And, you know, you could go and sit in at places. I mean, I wound up sitting in one night with Al Haig, one of Charlie Parker's favorite pianists, and wound up kind of getting a gig. I didn't get paid, but I got paid in kind because he taught me a bunch of tunes and taught me the ropes, so to speak, in terms of how you play with people, you know. So that was senior year of high school. He's like, come down, I got this gig at this club on the east side.
How'd you get in the clubs if you were only 17?
Man, I think they
just were cool. Yeah.
It's like, come on down and sit in anytime you want. I was there like 3-4 nights a week. I took him at his word. It's like, you told me you shouldn't have done that, you know. So I do my homework, and you know, either the bass player who lived near me would pick me up and drive me down there. Yeah. And he picked me up at 7 because he had Morris Edwards. He had a gig with a pianist right before Al Haig played from 7 to 10. This guy, Lou Mel Morgan, played. And he was like a bluesy kind of, almost kind of like the R&B, something like maybe what Dr. John is coming from. And he used the bass player, and so Morris would grab me at 7.
Yeah,
we'd do that from 7 to 10, and then I'd play for another hour and a half from 10 to 11:30 with Al, and then make it home by midnight, my curfew. You know, up in the cab and get home. So you know. So I wound up sitting in that night with Art Blakey, and as did Wynton Marsalis, who was just getting into town. So, and we both kept coming back. I mean, at Art's.
And Art offered you a gig with his band.
Yeah.
And is it true that you're the only guitar player ever?
Well, no, I don't know about that. I mean, not the only one. I think Kevin Eubanks wanted. When I turned it down, Kevin Eubanks did it.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone actually played in the band before that, though, so I may have been
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah.